So as is the norm when you've made changes, things go wrong. So tonight the stream key didn't work, so we're going to be a very quick intro and straight down to the track. Tonight, as usual, I am back streaming the PRT handicap race. Really happy to be back doing this. It's a fantastic race, really fun to cover, really interesting to watch, and there's always a lot happening on the screen. Very quickly, handicap race. Everybody's limited ideally to a 3.2 watt per kilogram based upon their recent FTP. Take the FTP, divide it by 3.2, gives you the weight that you add into the game. Why would we do this? Well, simply put, it means that the elite and the non-elite athletes can all race together and have a nice friendly competition. Everybody finishes within a reasonable distance of each other. You're not talking about a massive gap of 10 minutes from the leaders to the second place. You know, everyone's really well placed, close together. Makes it more interesting, more challenging event for everybody. We are tonight racing on Paterberg. So we have done a quick relive on this. Paterberg, it's a fantastic circuit. Belgium circuit, two main climbs, the Paterberg climb that we all know about, which we're all fearful of, and there's also the Molenstraat climb, which comes around about halfway around the course. Difference with the Molenstraat climb from the Paterberg one is that it comes straight after a hard right turn, and it doesn't look on screen like it's going to be as challenging as it actually is. We've got about 30 kilometers of racing tonight. And it's going to be challenging. Not too much elevation, but the elevation comes in those really short, hard spikes. So they are, you know, it's going to be one that'll challenge you. So down onto the track now. We've got 57 seconds left until we kick off. I am on Facebook, so if you want to send a message in, I will read out your messages on screen. And we'd love to hear about your votes for the Combativity Awards. If you've not already found us, if you can mention to people that the scheduled stream's not gone ahead. Not entirely sure why. We will find that out later. But we are still there, we are still going live. We will be happy to get your comments and to feed them out. We are underway. Straight away there on the front we've got Chris Bancross. He frequently challenges for the wins in these races. See David Brookhausen behind him there, and the little tight grouping behind there containing Willisher. And we've got Richard from Riek. Richard runs a triathlon group, training group, and he also is involved with RGT. He has done several of the training sessions that you can find on the RGT workouts. Just going in now. The course was redesigned recently to start just after the Paterberg climb, so that will be interesting to see as the sprints go off up that climb. Final time, we'll see who the winner is on that part. So you can see Bancross just slipping into the pack now. See Pike taking the lead. Shepherd with him, Ferrari, Hutchinson, Brookhausen in this group. Alvarez just a little bit behind. And Brookhausen pushes on at the front there. Shepherd chasing. Go down a little descent. We're able to stream tonight in high graphic settings. See Darren Ray there of Team Lou challenging up at the front. Darren's been having some fantastic racing in this series. See a rider there wearing the Rose Beast Mode top. Rose Beast Mode there being recently added to the kits available on RGT, as Rose Beast Mode are taking part in the Echelon Racing series. That is one of the ways of getting your kit into RGT if you're eager to do that. Richard from React just taking the lead there at the front. While we're early on in this race, this is the Molenstraat. We come into a hard right bend into it. As I say, not quite looking as dangerous on the screen as it actually is when you're riding it. A little update on the VCN. We are covering 3 regular streams per week at the moment. We have La Copa. There is obviously the PRT Handicap series that we're covering now. And we are also covering the new Moonriders Heroica series. The race series which takes place over 12 races, all using the magic roads from RGT. Sorry, not the magic roads, the real roads of RGT. And it's an 8 of 12 series. So a fantastic concept of a series. You don't have to race every race to be in contention for the GC. So real life, you can have a little bit of real life as well as taking part in your virtual life. If you take part in 8 of the races, you are still considered for the overall win. See Richard here from React, a little bit of gapping opening up there between the lead group and Richard. He's trying to cover that, fighting his way back there. And he's working with Alvarez, I think it is there. And just on his wheel we've got Will Usher. Will enjoys staying in the wheels and then punching through at the end to try and win these races. See, Pike is just opening up a lead on the front there. Run up to the front. Coming up now to the first ascent of this Paterberg climb. We'll put the camera down near the pavement, down near the tarmac, the cobbles. See Guy Hepner charging towards the front there. Pike just suffering as these elevations going up. It's 12% at this point. And Richard from React still there in contention in 7th position. Darren Ray just dropped a little bit back there. He's 23 metres back on the group. We continue climbing here. Gradients 10.5% at the moment. Guy pushing on at the front. Now, difficult to see sometimes with this road how steep it really is. But if I lay the camera down on the cobbles there, and we'll just go around to the side. Oh, if we're not inside that tree. Or inside Pike. And we just look at that fence and you can see how stepped that fence is. To give you an idea of how steep this climb is, we're up at 19.5% now. Legs are really feeling it, even though it's the first time going around this section. You can see that Richard's pushing on, he's enjoying this climb. He's managed to make himself up from 7th to 5th position there. Gradient's just easing off slightly. I say it's easing off, we're only dropping down to 14% now as Pike's just suffering, dropping back. Martin's coming forward now. With Chris Bancross, I think there. Oh, it's Jansen's. Jansen's there pushing on. And we come under the start-finish banner in a moment. Will Usher's just being reeled in by Pike here. Allez, Woot. And not too far away, we can see the start-finish banner. Pike pushes on. We're going to have a drop through the pack now. See who else is in the race. Give everyone a shout up. Will trying to hold on to Pike's wheel as we flatten out slightly. Turner not too far off, but probably out of contention with this front group now. Darren Ray sticking to his wheel. Bancross gone out from an early start. He's suffered on that climb. He's dropped back to 12th position now. Take him a little bit further back, also wearing the Team Lou colours. And Murray, Ian Murray of PRT. Silverstone and Alvarez just passing Silverstone there. Jasmunga down in 17th position. Passing Silverstone, trying to catch back up to the wheel of Alverston there. Chris Shackleston, another of the Team Lou riders, 18th position. Wooters, 19th. Being chased there by Ursula. Lou Gelling, one of the PRT ladies, unable to make it to the race tonight. This is one of her favourite courses. Phenomenal attack on the hills. Lou Gelling, a vicious kick. Ursula flying the flag for the PRT ladies now. Anne Breckel in 21st position. Ian Hurst, 22nd position. Forster, 23rd. Hutchinson, 24th. With Barry Wilson. Barry, a frequent flyer in these races. I've not seen his grandson Ollie in this race. Ollie Perkins often takes part in these races. Only a young rider, he's only I think 14, but he's got a fantastic turn of power on him. Often rides with a very high handicap in these races. Zupanchik, 26th position. Damon and Clements together, 27th and 28th. Clements wearing the CTT, the Cycling Time Trials shirt there. Get to see them doing their regular TT races. Hopefully they'll be back on RGT soon. Adams chasing on in that little group. And then we've got Mark Lightfoot a little bit further back, 30th position. And in 31st position here, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name. Fortunately, I'm sorry. And Bev Usher there. Will organise these races, Will Usher of the PRT team. And this is Bev, his father, who I think is he's just around the age of 80. Having a fantastic time doing all the virtual cycling at the moment. He's racing very frequently. Always takes part in the PRT races and puts in a fantastic performance every time he does.
Lemons there at 33rd position. A little bit of grouping here. Got Robin Druitt and Steve-O. A couple of box for company. Got Jan and Caroline there wearing the yellow jerseys of the VLF. Jan Decker and Caroline Reuter won the VLF event, which was a fantastic three-week tour series that took part in RGT last year, and they've been immortalised in RGT as bots, and they're often found on the course pushing out some phenomenal power. Dropping a bit further back here, we've got Hazard in 42nd position. We do have bots in the race. We'll always put a few bots in the race at slower speeds so that anyone that gets left at the back of the group has someone to ride with. You're not riding solo. It's easy to get dropped in this race with a little bit of a explosion at the beginning of all the races. As we see Puga here in 52nd position. That's it for those riders. Go back to the front here of the race. We see Guy Hapner. Guy, an American racer, he always carries a large handicap. I think it's in the region of 20 to 25 kilograms that Guy carries in these races. That's a phenomenal amount of effort in. But if you imagine, that is sort of similar to heading out on a race carrying a full sack of potatoes. Going into the Paterberg now. Guy's putting out 400 watts plus as we're going up this. See Ferrara challenging hard. We've got Richard from RIAC, Richard Akers, holding solid in 3rd position there. He's had a great race so far. Started at the back of the lead group and he's just gradually pegged in a few places. Shepherd in 4th, wearing that Rose Beast jersey. Guy tapping out steady, 350 watts now, as the gradient's going up to 10%. Up the Paterberg. Second climb. Ferrari making a strong push here. He's 90 metres behind Hapner. I don't know if you're seeing the leaderboard there, but ignore that. My rider is pootling about on the course. Use spectate mode to follow this race. You have to have an avatar in the course. You know, Hapner opening up just a little bit more of a gap now. He's up to 26 metres over on Ferrara. The gradient's lessening. We're just coming up to the top of the Paterberg climb, flattening off. And this is where the weight difference will not make a dramatic difference to Guy. And we should expect to see him opening up a little bit more of a lead on Ferrara. Guy Hapner putting in a time of 1:37 there. And just in the distance there, Guy's going underneath the start-finish line. I'd say he's got an 18-second gap there on Ferrara. Ferrari's clear of Janssens. Janssens and RIAC may find themselves working together. Say RIAC, it's Richard Akers. Just passing Kurt Vicky Lang on the line there. Kurt's of a Team Lou racer. He's obviously had a small technical tonight that's not allowed him to get underway. We'll stay with Richard Akers for a moment now. See whether he manages to reel in Janssens. A lot been happening in the world. As I say, VCN is covering a number of events at the moment. We've got La Copa, which was played live just before this race. It was the Tuesday race. It's a team race which anyone can take part in as a solo rider at the moment. It's well worth watching. Lots of challenges going on in there. Won't be long now until the 24-hour Borrego race takes place. I say it's a race, it's an endurance ride. It's taking part on the Borrego course, taking part on the real road course. Anybody can take part in that event. Starting off at 9 o'clock in every time zone across the world. Jump on. We've put some details up on the VCM Facebook page. It's for guidance. You don't have to ride 24 hours, but there are a number of our riders who are going to be doing that. They're going to be aiming for that as a goal, but we've put in targets there. It's an endurance ride for 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 or 24 hours, whatever you can do. The idea is that it's an inclusive ride that everyone can take part in, and you can ride to your limit, really, is what the ideal point would be. But just ride till you're comfortable, challenge yourself and see what you can do, see where you can get to. See Shepherd there, Janssens and Riak, they're all grouped together now. As Riak pushes on, just give it a little kick there. I'm not sure if he's happy about being in this group. Maybe finds that it might be a risk of a challenge. Janssens kicked on as well. Shepherd, he's just happy to hang in on the wheels. We can see there that Shepherd's gaining a big drafting advantage being with this pair, saving 140 odd watts as he's just sitting into the wheel of Richard Akers there. But Richard's pushing on again. Any little incline and Richard's pushing hard. You can see Guy Hepner just in the distance there. He's lost the lead in this race to Ferrari. Ferrari's putting in a fantastic turn there. He's gone out to 240 metres from our position. 100 metre lead over Guy Hepner. But this is a very challenging course with real leg snapping Belgian climbs, which can feel enjoyable and challenging at the beginning of the race, and very quickly they can turn into painful, lactic inducing climbs. The Shepherd going into this hard right hand turn, auto braking you into this awful climb, which, as I say, when you're watching it, it doesn't look like it's as challenging as it is. It starts off around about 6%, drops down to 4%, then goes back up to plus 8%. And when you're carrying your mum shopping around with you, it can be a very challenging climb. See Shepherd now just once again closing that gap on Janssens and Akers. And Ferrari, those carrots in the distance, we're chasing those riders. Whether these three riders can work and share the pace together to recover that distance and reel in Hepner and Ferrari, we will soon see. Halfway through this race now. Going to drop back, see how Turner coming up to the top of this climb as well. David Brookhuizen there, 7th position. Fantastic rider, David. Martins in 8th, Portuguese rider. Darren Ray doing a fantastic turn this evening, holding 9th position now. He's in good company with Will Usher and Bancroft there. They've just managed to pass him on that climb. He must have had a good turn on that flat section. See Murray coming past. Darren just putting in an effort there to get back to the wheel of Usher and Bancroft. Murray and Titcombe there joining this group. Jazz Munger further back in 14th position, but not too far away. It's turned into a little bit of a posse, this group now. Pike riding fantastically and up at the front there. He's been suffering now. He's dropping back into 15th position and distance from this group by 42 metres. Silverstone 16th, and he shook free of Chris Shackleton, and Alvarez there not quite able to hold the wheel of Shackleton either. Ian Hurst, Team 3R rider, Just reaching the wheel of Alvarez there. And Ursula. A good ride there. Van Breckel, 21st position. Moving up to 20th. Wouters, 22nd. Forster, now in 23rd. With Hutchinson just coming into this vicious climb now. So he just tips up to 13% there as you come around the corner. Eases off almost immediately down to 4%. And climbs back up again to 8. As Puga makes a chase onto Hutchinson's wheel. Enjoying this section of the climb, he passes Hutchinson in the red zone, pushing on hard. Back with Mark Lightfoot, he's teaming up with Clements here. Chase onto Hutchinson's wheel. Barry Wilson in this group. Adams just being caught up by Doan there. Avusha in a good turn, 31st position. Runa, another of the Portuguese riders, chasing on. Lamens and Iselling. Yeah, and Steve-O there. Caroline's been distanced a little bit. Back through. That may be, oh, we've got Hazard there in 47th position. Just rounds that corner and into that climb again. See everybody stringing on that climb. Big group in a box. So back up with the lead rider here. Ferrara just easing off on this flat section. Dropping it down to 2.2 watts per kilogram. As I say, it's a 3.2 watt per kilogram target that everyone's handicapped to. Theoretically, no one should be pushing over 3.2 watts per kilogram. That's not quite how it works. Everyone pushes differently in areas where they've got more power. So I say that in areas where they've got more power. That's a foolish statement. In areas where they feel they can excel. So some people push more on the flat, some people find it easier to push against the climbs, and you will find that over the entirety of the race this watt per kilogram average should even out. Watt per kilograms only really work as a factor when you're using hills in the races, so every race that Will designs has hills in it. It's not necessarily enjoyable for everyone, but it does make the handicap work, and that's the idea of these races. See, Ferrara now has opened up a gap of 300 meters on Guy Hepner. So we're going to just leave Ferrara for the moment because there's not much happening here. Go back to Guy Hepner. See, Janssens has managed to drop all of the people that were chasing with him. And he's closing in slightly on Guy. Some of the more eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that VCN has had a logo change recently. We just had the logo slightly redesigned. Very thankful to Bev Usher who did that for us. We were happy with the old logo, but it wasn't quite striking enough. It didn't work with enough colours. So Bev's very kindly redesigned the logo for us. Some more striking options, so it will work well with all different colours and on all different backgrounds. and hopefully when you're flying past it in game, it will allow it to stand out a little bit more, so you'll be able to see when it's a VCN event. See Jansen's there, managed to reel in Guy, and he's pushed on there. He's trying to drop Guy now. Richard Akers only 60 metres behind. It could be that some of these riders have just managed to pace themselves a little bit better than Guy has. As I say, these are very challenging climbs when you're carrying an extra load of weight. And the easiest way that I can see to equate it to for riders that are up at the elite class is to often it's the equivalent of carrying a bag of very heavy shopping or a full sack of potatoes. They're carrying around about 20 to 25 kilograms, these riders who are in the elite class, which is why they're getting slowed down and acting as little carrots for some of the riders along the course. Richard there closed down that gap very well. We went through that little bit of a descent section. He's coming into this climb now, 4.7%. 6.1 kilometers of this race remaining for this group. We are absolutely flying. Racing this sort of distance for myself would take around about the hour mark. I'd have to shave off quite a few kilograms to be able to get round in this sort of pace. Just a quick word about the race organiser. Give a shout out to Will. Will Usher organises these races every week. Sort of started off as a way for him to get his athletes together and challenge each other. A range of athletes that he coaches, all different weight classes, and they've evolved into an event that lots of the RGT wider community take part in. The PRT, Precision Race Team riders, all taking part in these events. Will has his own group, and Will actually has started off his own Facebook page as well if you're interested in keeping up to date with these events and for other precision race items. If you check out Precision Race Team on Facebook, there is a Precision Race, that's a PRT RGT group now on Facebook. You're welcome to join up to, and you'll get the information about these races, and also the combativity award that gets awarded. You'll get information about that and lots of other things. Will started up with his contacts in the industry. He started up his own website, Precision Rewards, which is available if you go through the Precision Race Team website. You can get there, and you can also find links to it on a lot of the information that surround the Precision Race Team handicap. Precision Rewards utilises Will's contacts within the industry that is set up with 20 years plus of knowledge and coaching, and it's equipment manufacturers, supplements, companies that Will's worked with over the years, and basically he's accessed discounts that are free for everyone to join up and use. I use the U-Perform collagen supplements. I've signed up with Precision Rewards. Every time I do an order, I get a discount on my collagen. We've got different levels that you can sign up for to get different discounts, but it's something that you can do for free, and it doesn't hurt you to get in there and sign up. We're hoping that in the near future we'll also be able to release some exclusive events through the Precision Rewards website. Can't give you too much details on those just yet, but it is something to look forward to in the future. We're hoping that it's going to be a real big events and supported by a lot of well, let's just say they're going to be good. Let's leave it there. I don't want to give away too much. Hopefully we'll have some releases coming on that soon. We're back with Turner now as we head back into this Paterberg climb, and the gradient's just crushing the legs, sapping the life out of Turner's legs as we're heading up here now. 3.4 watts per kilogram. Really straining those elastic bands to get up here. Turner not wearing a heart rate monitor, so we'll drop back to David Brookhausen. Hopefully he is wearing a heart rate monitor. Oh yeah, there we go. David just being passed by Martin's there. You see David's heart rate up at 182 now as he's climbing this. He's closing in on Martin's though. Martin's shot off at the beginning of this climb, perhaps just paced it a little bit wrong. Saw David in the distance and thought I can fly past him. See a rider there. Brookhausen now, heart rate creeping up to 185 now. Finishing himself on this climb of the Paterberg. Martin's managed to pass Turner on this climb. David just closing in on Turner now. Crashed that onto the flatter section. Turner managing to apply a little bit more power. David eased off slightly. You can find that there's the differential in how your turbo trainer reacts to these changes in gradient. Each turbo trainer manufacturer applies a slightly different form of smoothing to these. So it can be that you find you're suffering slightly as you go over the top. You can find yourself reacting slightly differently to the change in power from your change in resistance from your turbo trainer. You can also find that you might be searching for a few gears. Just drop back a bit further now. I've been on David for a little while. His heart rate's coming down slightly from that 185 peak. Got Muzz and Will Usher, Ian Murray here. Will Usher grouped together. And Bancross just coming back into this grouping. Chris Bancross. Murray easing off on the power now, letting Bancross come past and jumping in on the wheel. And you can see he's saving there 80 plus watts. He's drafting on Bancross's wheel there. Nice to have a lot of foliage on these courses, nice and green, luscious and verdant, but not that great when you leave the camera to fly through them. Gives you some close-up views of the leaves. Bancross doing the lead work here at the moment. Usher and Murray happy to just sit in and enjoy that drafting advantage. Yeah, main feature of RGT, or one of the main features of RGT, it's got a lot of great features about it, is the way that the drafting works. It is phenomenal the way that they can accurately predict all of the drafting for the riders in the course. Unlike a lot of the other platforms which use a fuzzy logic to give you an estimation of how much draft you should be receiving, RGT monitors, calculates all this back on their main server, which has the position of every rider within it. So you know that you're getting the draft that you deserve, and you know that the rider on the front is feeling the full force and is not enjoying the drafting benefit. Whereas, as I say, on some of the other platforms you can find that the rider in the front thinks they're behind you, and the rider behind thinks they're in front, and the drafting benefit is all a bit fluffy. Drop back again, tip coming back there, and we've got a little grouping here of Darren Ray, Ian Hurst, Chris Shackleton, all regulars on this event. Darren's been having a fantastic ride tonight. He leaves this group and heads for the carrot. There's Tickham in the distance there. And just stay with Darren for a moment, see whether he manages to bridge up to Tickham. .8 kilometres left remaining in this race. In fact, I must run back to the front of the race. Di Ferrara coming up the back markers of the box now. He's just going to be entering into the bottom of the Paterberg climb. He's only got 500 metres left of this race. Ferrara pushes hard here, 5 watts per kilogram. In every last effort into this final bit of the course. Picking up back marks as he goes. Ferrara, Portuguese rider here. Will does go through all of the results after the race and checks the watts per kilogram of all of the riders. And unfortunately we do have to disqualify some of the riders now and again. Not saying that Ferrara will fall into that category, but his results will be looked at, as will those of all the other riders, just to ensure that they're playing fair by the handicap. It is important to note that the main aim of this race is not to win. The main aim of this race is to be the most combative rider, whether that is towing your friends, your teammates, or making a massive bridge from one group to another. It's all sorts of different things that are voted for by the riders. It's not merely that step on the podium that you're racing for, you're racing to be acknowledged by your peers. Much more important than any kind of silverware. Ferrara now, 141 metres left to go. Just fighting his way through these back markers. Coming up on 35th position of Giselk's there. That's the end of the Paterberg climb we've just come through there. Coming up on the finish line, 60 metres, 30 metres, and Ferrara is home. Back with the Jansens there. As I say, just look at those fences, the way that they're stepped. Gives you an idea of the gradient that he's pushing up against there. 13.6% as he comes up to the end of the Paterberg climb. Coming over that segment that indicates the end of the Paterberg climb as he continues going. Second position, coming in a time of just over 41 minutes. Richard Akers here, fantastic ride from Richard. Being chased hard by Shepherd, 4th position. It looks like Richard's going to be able to just keep him at bay though. As I say, Richard Akers, the REAC training group, you'll see those on Facebook as well. They do a regular workout. They have been running the duathlon, which is a combined race and slip confined race, cycle, race and run. They've just ended their season of those early. They're hoping to pick them up later on as Guy Hepner, who was chasing hard. Shepherd's through in 4th, Guy Hepner through in 5th. 6th and 7th position here, Turner and Martinez. This is going to be a battle. Will Turner be able to keep Martinez at bay? Martinez going into the red here. The red indicates how far above your FTP you're pushing. As Martins just goes past Turner, Turner managing to overhaul him again. Martinez going into the bright red here as he's going way above his FTP to finish the Paterberg climb in front. Turner not able to respond. Wonder if he's leaving it too late. He's going up onto the flat now. Martin still pushing down the power, opening up a massive gap there in the end on Turner. Turner coming through to a very good 7th position. David Brookhausen chasing hard. Oh, David might just overhaul him at the line. No. 7th position for Turner. Brookhausen coming in 8th position. Will Usher struggling here with the back markers, coming in 9th. He's dropped Muzz. Muzz back in 10th position there with Bancroft in 11th. Then the distance is too great there for Bancroft to overhaul. Go Murray home in 10th. Bancroft, he's completely eased off the power now. 11th position. Nobody chasing at the moment. Bancroft over the line in 11th position. We're dropping back now to Ian Hurst. Ian Hurst having a fantastic race here. Chris Shackleton back in 13th position. But Chris is chasing hard now. You can see Ian Hurst up in front of him. Ian's going to come over that crest of the Paterberg climb though. And he's going to keep putting the power down. You can see Shackleton in his rear view mirror. He doesn't want to lose that 12th position to him. That's some great pacing by Ian Hurst there to get 12th position. Shackleton coming through in 13th. Jasmunger in 14th position now. Eased off, coming up to the line. No challenge from Titcombe here. He's coming in 15th, just ahead of Darren Ray. Jasmunger with a little sprint on the line, 15th. Darren, fantastic ride to gain 16th position now. Forster being chased by Van Breckel. Forster keeping the power on, opening up that gap over Van Breckel on this flatter section. Van Breckel being chased by Ursula. Van Breckel over the line in 18th. Ursula 19th position. Ursula over the line in 19th. Wouters now being chased by Siverston, and Alvarez just behind him. Anything can happen on this Paterberg climb. These gradients really slow you down. You have to put a lot of effort in now. Siverston's going into the red section. Wouters is just coming over onto the crest now, and the gradient's easing off for Wouters. He should be able to hold and increase on this gap on Siverston. Gap of 37 metres. Just opening it up now to 50 metres. Slight descent section now. Pushes for the line. Comes over in 20th position. Siverston 21st. Confident in the 21st position now. You see just behind him Alvarez, who attacked on the climb but wasn't quite able to overhaul him. Alvarez being chased down by Puga. Alvarez 22nd, Puga coming over the line in 23rd position. Dropping back to Runa. Runa on this 12.4% section of Paterberg, just coming off the cobbles onto the tarmac. See the encouragement marked on the road there in chalk. Runa comes over onto this flatter section, gradients 1.7% here. Feels like a massive relief after you've just conquered the Paterberg. And he comes home in 24th position at a time of 47 minutes. Clements being chased by Mark Lightfoot. Rob Clements in 25th position here. Clements come home 25th, Mark Lightfoot 26th position. Hutchinson 27th. Going into the red as he comes over the top of the Paterberg now. Hutchinson wearing the Cycling Podcast jersey there. The Our Giro Cycling Podcast created an event in conjunction with RGT called the R Giro, an ode to the Giro over the years. As Hutchinson comes over in 27th position. Barry Wilson being chased by Bev Usher now. Barry Wilson holding 28th position and Bev chasing hard in 29th. The R Giro, fantastic event, took place over 2 long weeks based upon iconic events and stages from the Giros. Barry comes over in 28th, Bev in 29th, back with Adams now in 30th position being chased by Daman. Yeah, the R Giro was a very enjoyable but very hard 2 weeks of racing. You knew it was hot when you were mixing ice cubes with your protein shake. Adams comes over in 30th position. Damon just cresting now. Damon in 31st position. And we've got Robin Druitt now. Robin Druitt I've been in touch with on the Facebook pages. He's been practicing racing handicap races in his own time to try and improve against competitors. One of the good things about the handicap races is that it does teach you to use the environment, the natural parts of the course to try and springboard yourself off. You're not just using raw watts. As Giselle comes now in 33rd position, pushing for the line, just overtook the bot there, coming off the Paterberg, pushes hard. Back now, Marquez. And we've got Hazard further down the course now. Keep an eye out for him. Some of the bots in the way. Steve-O, 48th position now. Big grouping of bots. Steve-O putting in the effort there. See me referencing the power levels. There's a coloured bar underneath the riders' names. Everyone inputs their FTP and it can be auto-calculated, your FTP, within the RGT world. And the power ranges above or below the FTP are represented by those colours underneath the rider's name. heading into the red and dark red. Those indicate powers greatly above your FTP. As we see Hazard there displaying a bright red power bar. That's going into, I think, zone 6, which is only sustainable for brief periods. I think is what most riders would refer to as a match. And that's a match burn there for Hazard as he put in the power coming up the Paterberg. Pushes on to the finish line. I think Hazard is the last of our wheel riders coming home. Go to an aerial view. Check out the beauty of the Paterberg circuit. If you're watching tonight on Facebook, if you could like and follow the VCM page. If you're watching on YouTube, if you could like and subscribe. It is great to see the subscribers growing. It shows that we're doing something great, something good that everybody's enjoying, and really helps us continue pushing out these streams for you all. And we have just seen our last rider over the line. Don't forget to head over to the Facebook page and join in and get involved in the chat. Get involved in the races if you're not already involved. We are streaming La Heroica series later on tonight from the Moon Riders guys. Check it out for those guys in the American time zone. And look forward to seeing you again. See you next week, if not before. Take care. Bye.